Here's an all too common occurrence. I wake up in the morning. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling alert. I'm feeling young. I walk into the bathroom. I look in the mirror and I nearly gasp. There's an old man in there looking back at me. It's my kid self being held hostage by my adult self. There's a quote from Larry David that goes like this: I had a wonderful childhood, which is tough because it makes it hard to adjust to a miserable adulthood. I can imagine that there are probably several people here who can relate to that. I know that I can. You can make a pretty compelling case that being an adult is simply overrated, which is ironic because as kids we just want to grow up and be adults. This is foolish because being a kid is arguably vastly superior. So let's look at a few reasons, which admittedly are all taken from my personal experience. Energy. When you're a kid, you have tons of energy to burn. You can run around all day burning 1,000,000 calories an hour and still be ready to play hide and seek with your friends at night. Now, I go up a few flights of stairs, and I'm inclined to chastise myself and beat myself up for how out of shape I feel, huffing and puffing. Constitution. As a kid, I felt nearly indestructible. I would jump off the roof of my grandparents' house, go flying off ramps on a bike, never breaking a bone. Now, I have to make sure I don't sneeze too hard or I might throw out my back. I've seen it happen. Physical appearance can obviously change as you become an adult. Some of it is within your control and some of it is not. As a kid, I had a big, bushy mane of hair. Now, as a kid, I also didn't have to worry about getting hair in places that I have no interest in being. Why do men grow hair in their ears as they age? It's common when you're young to have a part-time job or have an allowance, have a little spending money. But those things are generally not necessities. When you're a kid, someone drives you around, someone makes your meals, someone buys your clothes. As an adult, you've got to get a job, you've got to pay your bills, you've got to pay taxes, you've got to sit in traffic going to work for an hour, depending on where you live. Now what about relationships? Marriage can be great. Committed relationships can be great. But if you're an adult and you're single, it's inevitable that you get questions, usually meant out of concern or kind-hearted interest, but which can generally make you stressed out if you feel that you're not meeting expectations. Questions like, are you seeing anyone? Questions like, what have you done to meet new people? Questions such as, do you think you'll ever get married? When you're a kid, none of that. No one expects you to be in a relationship. The most your parents might expect is for you to have a date to the prom. Food. The way that kids and adults approach food is worlds apart. When I was young, I had zero consideration for what I was eating because I was burning it all off so fast, running around being a kid. There was a period of time in my teens where literally every time that I went to Wendy's, I had a triple and a large fry and a large Frosty. I remember eating an entire Domino's large pizza all by myself. Now, I can't help but feel guilty if I have that extra slice of pizza or those 2 extra chocolate chip cookies or that second helping of birthday cake. But I have to confess that there might be more at play here than even I realize. as you'll see from the story that I will unfold. Not so long ago, there was an evening where I was meeting family members that were visiting my girlfriend from out of town. I'd never met them, so of course they wanted to know a little bit about me. Who was this non-Armenian man who was living with their cousin? Because they were Armenian, naturally the conversation turned to food and cooking. And what glowing words of love left the lips of my companion in her description of me. He'll eat peanut butter sandwiches for lunch and cereal for dinner. He eats like a little kid. And to that I plead guilty, Mr. Toastmaster.
No.